What's up, nerds and noobs? It's Maceblade here with a basic agriculture and canning food and resetting the decay rate video. So here we're taking a look at my farm, how I got it set up. That's a greenhouse right there, and it's pretty far down the skill tree, but it's definitely recommended for outdoor growth. You can grow outside, however, if it comes wintertime and the winter even touches your crops, you will kill them. Okay, so first on the tree we're going to look for is we're going to try to find all the farming stuff. It's pretty high up on the tree. However, as of right now, agriculture requires you to have an agricultural skill of 1, which means you have to have a book to raise it. Now that's only for right now. That is soon to change. That box that I just circled will actually be available without an agricultural skill so that you can raise your agricultural skill using it. Now, these are the different things. The wine barrel can help you raise your agricultural skill. The breeding pen is pretty high off, and then you got a water culture box. This is on a newbie character, so you can see exactly what it's needed to unlock it. So you got to unlock the original processing table, and then the boards, and then you can do the cultivation box. Like I said, that agriculture grade 1 is going to be removed here soon. And then, that is your next upgrade to agriculture 2 box. I highly recommend it. And, you got your workbench right after that. Your wine barrel you can do at any time, and then you get your breeding pen, which is higher up there, not necessarily important. Then you can have a beehive, which is pretty high grade, which is odd, and then you have your nutrient solution. And nutrient solution is what speeds up the process. It's actually a requirement for farming. And down here we have the greenhouse. Now the greenhouse is, requires quite a bit, agriculture 5, engineering 4, and electric 2, as well as blueprints. Now to jump back in here, I'm using water culture boxes, and I'll show you the difference here in a minute, but you can see the amount of information that's given to you. The estimated time to mature, the development, the amount of sunshine, fertility, moisture, what it is. This is the agriculture bench. This is where you can convert plants to seeds, and you can make nutrient solution. Now the nutrient solution, when added to a water culture box, it gives it 100% immediately. Now when they're ready for harvesting, it'll say mature across the bottom. You harvest it, and it gives you anywhere from 7 to 10, depending on what you're making. Now these here plant fibers are used to make feed for your animals. Do not get rid of them. Nor do you want to get rid of your rotten food or any extra food. Throw it in there, let it go rotten. And you can see how the feed is made from the plant fibers, and the nutrient solution is actually made from your rotten food. The nutrient solution has a wicked fast production time, but unfortunately it's an agricultural skill 5, so by the time you can unlock it, it doesn't matter that you need the skills anymore. Now we're going to go through the planting process. It's the same in both a water culture and a regular cultural box. You take your seeds, you put it in, and now you're ready to add more. Now with the water culture box, you just click irrigation and automatically waters it for you. Then you add the nutrient solution, increases the fertility. With the nutrient solution, it's a guaranteed 100%, and it tells you the amount of time. Now with a regular culture box, it doesn't tell you the time, it just tells you the percentage of everything. Fertilizer is about 50 to 60%, maybe a little bit more. And the nutrient solution doesn't do as well in a cultural box. It's only, I don't know, something like 50% or so. Yeah, not even. So, but the problem with the culture boxes, you have to the cultivation boxes, you got to constantly watch them. Now, if you don't get to them in time and harvest them in time, they will die, and you will not be able to yield anything from them. And you can see right here, this nutrient solution will go from 25 to 100. It'll actually go from 0 to 100. And you see how everything in here is already watered. Now the irrigation is hooked up to my water system, so you will need a water system in order for your irrigation to work. So you will need a well pump, or you'll need a well, and you'll need a water storage tank within range. And then they will auto irrigate for you. That's not a property of the greenhouse. Do not get it confused. The greenhouse is solely, only purpose is to keep the snow off of your crops. And it has to be built on a 4x3 foundation. That sprinkler system ahead is for show. It does not do anything. So don't sit here and try to connect your greenhouse to your water storage tank. It doesn't work. Now I'm going to show you a little bit about animal husbandry, a little bit about raising some animals. The list can be quite big, but what you're going to want to look for is you're going to put them in here and you're just going to keep feeding them and water them until you finally get one that says adult and says fertile. Once they're fertile, you separate them like this and they will produce offspring. These two just recently had one, and I'm running out of space, so I just left them alone because nobody's fertile and I don't need to breed anything right yet. Now you can see in this one that I have two fertile female hens, but I have no males. I actually quit naming them because every time you take them out, they just resort back to a number, so I just quit naming them. Now they will drop eggs on the ground, and you can go and scoop them up, but one day you'll come back and then next thing you know there's just a baby chick running around. Now this one here, I have them separated because I have a female hen that's fertile, but I'm just waiting for the male. They yield roughly the same product that you'll get from a wild animal. So if you kill a pig, you'll get a ton of pork. You'll get more than you get on a boar, but it's the same grade, nothing special. Now what we're going to do is we're going to feed them, and I'm going to show you how. So you take the feed out that you make from your plant fibers, and you simply walk up to the troughs. I got to grab some water too, because they're almost out. Well, they're low, and I don't like them to get out. Now you can give them dirty water. They really don't care. They'll drink anything. So you just walk up to it while you have feed in your inventory and you just add it using E. Then this one here, it'll tell you how much you need. Now the best part about the troughs is that when it rains, they fill up with rain. The animals are really easy. I mean, all you have to do is just keep them fed and watered, and they'll just produce for you. And believe it or not, once you get them going, once they start breeding, they breed fast, but it's just getting them to that point. Feed back here, go fill up my water canteens so that they're full for next time. And just fill them right at the well. You can fill them at any water source, but I mean, if you got a well, obviously just fill them there. And of course, after I get done watering them, it starts raining. There's a shocker. Now don't quote me because I haven't spent a whole lot of time on the regular cultivation boxes, but I believe if you leave them outside, the rain will also water them. Yep, see now it's full. It wasn't quite full before. There was still some liters that need to be filled, yeah. So now the rains are already filled them. And it hasn't even been raining that long, so. Yeah, awful. There's a shocker. Well, that worked out. So yeah, here's another thing too, is you can only put a male and a female of the same type of animal in there while they're fertile, and they will breed. You cannot have more than one in there of either. It has to be 1 and 1 while they're fertile. And that is your basic agriculture and animal husbandry. Now let's get into food canning and resetting the decay rate. Now, to do this, you will need to be able to unlock the canning machine, which I believe is called the seal exhaustion thing. It's pretty low, like pretty far down on your table here, your skill tree. You'll need the machining table, then you'll have to unlock this, which is unlocked by unlocking steel ingots. It's pretty far over here, and it uses steel ingots. Electrification grade of 5, engineering 4, and a cooking of 3 to unlock this thing. Now, you're going to see, we'll go to the other one. Okay, now we're at my setup where I actually have one set up. Okay, so we're going to pull a can out of here with the lowest decay rate. So it's about to expire. It's at a 9.1. It's red. You're going to get malaria if you eat this, okay? But when you cook it, it's actually going to go up because the maximum changes. So instead of 9.14 out of 5, it's going to be, or out of 35, it's going to be like a, I don't know, like a 0.9 out of 2 or something like that. So it'll actually be yellow. So you have a less chance of catching malaria. So all you're going to do is you're going to cook your food. 0.92 out of 2, yeah. So all you're going to do is you're going to cook your food, which brings it up. And then you run over to your canning machine, where you have to have aluminum, because, you can with aluminum cans. Your seal exhaust machine, that's what it's called. All right. So you put your food in there, and you see it's yellow, 0.9. And you just find it up here in your recipes or whatever. And you make it. Unfortunately, it's a 60-second timer. I apologize, but any recipes you can make that can be canned. So, your potato side dishes cannot be canned. Your shish kebabs cannot be canned. It's got to be something that you can find in a can, minestrone, delicious, whatever, a canned, well, whatever. I forget what they're all called, but there's a wide variety, and the recipes are pretty, you can get different recipes or the same recipe using different materials all the time, so. But, anything you can make that can be canned, you put over here, and then you can recan it, which obviously you've seen that had a maximum of 2 for your soup, so when you put it in the fridge, at a maximum of 2. But when you can it, it has a maximum of 35, so it increases your freshness by a lot. Now this one here was a yellow, and now it's max 35 of 35. And that was from an almost rotted canned fruit pulp that we cooked and then recanned and put it right back into a can, so it's good. It's got to be in like Tupperware or something. But you can do this with any of your canned goods, anything you find, open it, cook it, recan it, and then that's it. That's really all there is to canning. There's nothing to it. It uses a lot of electricity, but that's it. All right, well, thanks guys, appreciate it. Get wrecked and have fun. Later.